So Mr. Anderson, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Stanley Anderson, 110504.
And would you, Mr. Anderson, introduce your family members who were there with you?
Yes, ma'am. This is my sister, my oldest sister, Lynette Watson, and her husband, Colin Causey. Brother-in-law there.
Brother-in-law, what's your brother-in-law's name again?
Colin Causey.
Okay. And I'm assuming, is your sister or your brother-in-law going to speak on your behalf?
Yes.
They don't know. We'll let them think about it, and if they want to, we'll call on them at the appropriate time. First, okay. Mr. Anderson, let me read some identifying information into the record, then we'll start the parole interview with you. So, Mr. Anderson, you're classified as a third felony offender. You're currently serving a 30-year sentence. You were sentenced in Jefferson Parish in 1998 as a habitual offender for attempted first-degree murder. You do have a good time date. That's in September. Let's see, September 11, 2027. Your full-term date is November 25th, 2027. All that sounds correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And let me acknowledge that we have some guests who we have the DA's office from Jefferson Parish who wants to speak, and we'll ask him to do so. And we also have trying to sign in, I'm not sure if he has yet, Mr. Norris Henderson with the first 72. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman, Mr. Anderson. So would you answer his questions, please?
Okay, Mr. Anderson. How old are you?
I'm 58.
And how long have you served on this sentence?
26 years.
Okay. You're a third felony offender. As you stated, you have a good time date of 9/11/27. Tell me what was going through your mind at that time. I mean, what were you doing? Was drugs how you made your living?
I had a job.
Okay,
I had a job. Sir?
Where did you work?
I worked at Barrier Construction Company.
Okay, well, where did the drugs come into the picture?
Well, when I was running with the wrong group of guys, basically smoking weed, stuff like that. That's basically, just running with the wrong crowd. But I still was working.
What went through your mind? Why did you shoot at a cop?
Well, the night of the crime, actually, when before I got into it with that cop, I got stopped by a cop early that night and got a ticket from running the caution light or whatever. Now when the other police come up on me, it was clearly my fault because I was aggravated, not knowing I had anger issues. I'm aggravated, and I'm speaking with the officer, but I got an attitude. I'm meeting him with bad energy. You know what I'm saying? But then once he got control of the situation, and the things just went haywire, and we got physical altercation came about. But it was all my fault because I'm the one not like being all the way forward with the officer when he was just clear to stop me for a traffic stop.
Were you on drugs that night?
I was on alcohol, smoking weed.
Hey, what kind of alcohol you was on? Hard liquor or
Yeah, I was drinking. I was drinking Hennessy.
Okay. How old were you when you started drinking and smoking marijuana?
I smoked marijuana for the first time. I think I was 12.
Did you ever use any other drugs?
No, I don't do no hard drugs. I never done cocaine and stuff like that. That was never none of my preference there.
Okay. Did you ever go to treatment for your drugs, or did you take any classes for your drugs?
Yeah, I took the class NAAA. Thank you for a change. They talk about the drugs and the steps and stuff like that. Be the change, and it takes you way back to when you first saw one of your family members deal with drugs. So that it makes you be brutally honest with yourself when it comes to that. Like, well, when you first seen that, when you first took the drug, stuff like that. My oldest brother, I saw do drugs.
Okay. You have a pretty lengthy criminal history. You had a manslaughter charge. Tell me about that. You did 10 years on it.
Yes, sir. I was in the club. Me and the guy stepped on this guy's feet. Actually, believe it or not, I stepped on his feet. I apologized to the guy. So he left. He come back with two other guys, right? So me and him, we went to talking again, and then the other guy snuck me. So now I'm fighting all three of these guys, right? So it spills out to the outside, and my friend of mine helped get these guys off me. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when I get the gun from him, and was able to try to fought them guys off. We were shooting at each other and stuff.
So that's how that happened. Because I'll be honest with you, you were real honest with me on the first thing that happened. But that's what happened with the manslaughter charge. It started as a barroom fight.
Yeah, it started in the club, sir.
Okay. What other classes have you taken?
I've taken Thank You for a Change, pre-release, NAA, victim awareness, crimeaholics, small employments, small business loan, business.
Yeah, you've taken quite a few. You took anger management. You took balance 1 and 2.
Yes,
you took thinking for a change. What did thinking for a change teach you?
Thinking for a Change taught me about the self-awareness, self-value. Making the good decisions from thinking negative, like breathe in the positive and exhale the negative, stress and negativity. Just think in a positive way. That's really something I really like. I like that class there. And then the one about be the change. And it just teaches you how to just think differently. Take things in a positive way.
Okay, sounds good. You've had 13 disciplinary write-ups. Let's see, when was your last one? When was your last disciplinary write-up?
2020. So
2020. That was for 17, destruction of property. What did you do?
I was lifting weights on the yard. I take my shoestring off my boot, and I tie the dumbbell, the bell bar to the bar, make it heavier.
Right. Okay. What about the contraband in 219? What was that?
I was in the kitchen. A friend of mine I've been knowing since he had Pampers on. He asked me for sinus pills. And I walked to the kitchen and gave him 2 sinus pills in a piece of toilet paper. But I can tell you right now, when I was locked up for that, I was explaining the situation, because when one of the maids would walk around, they see me in the cell, they stopped. What you doing in there? And I explained the situation to the maids, and I said, well, I told you what I told him. I gave Stanley the sinus pills wrapped up in the toilet paper. And she told me something that I was taken aback by that. She said that, what's for you guilty by association? And I was taken aback by that. Like my daddy once said, you show me your company, I tell you who you are. It's like my friend, he's down to walk into the wrong thing, stuff like that. But like I said, I know him since he had Pampers on. And I gave him up, but by him being the thing that he was into, clearly the lieutenant could assume that it was drugs. But I'm here to sit as a man of my word, that I did not give him drugs. I didn't even lose my job in the infirmary for that. I was working in the infirmary. I didn't even lose my job for that.
Okay, let me ask you this. What's going to be your employment, your residence? Where you going to live? Where you going to work?
I'm going to be working at living at the first 72 housing, halfway house, where they provide the job and all resources for you. But then I have two jobs lined up from family members at the One of the jobs at Domino's Sugar out in New Orleans, with my cousin, Mr. Mike Cooper Ryder. He's the manager over there at Domino's Sugar. He tells my cousin to all I needed to do is have my presence there. He'll hire me. And then I got another cousin of mine works at the Superdome, the Smoothie King Center. Well, his boss name Miss Takoya Green. She's the public safety staffing coordinator for New Orleans Superdome and Smoothie King Center. She'll hire me too.
Okay, what about your sobriety plan? What you could do about that?
I think the First 72 have a program that I could join over there. They just opened up a culinary school that I'll be joining or going to night school with, but I think they'll have all that stuff over there. I've met some guys in the virtual interview and they all being successful with the reentry program over there at the First 72 program.
Okay, Warden, what do you have to say?
Since I've been here, he's had no disciplinary issues. I do see him all the time in the infirmary, which has been his job, I think, since 2009 in the infirmary. So communicating and taking care of the people in the nursing care unit and doing what he does. So I can't say anything but positive things about him, Ms. Freeman.
Okay, thank you very much, Warden. I have no further questions, Renata.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. I don't see any other questions. Did Mr. Henderson join in?
His phone's going straight to voicemail.
He's having trouble calling in, so we'll take the fact that he's trying to call in confirmation that that's your transition plan. We'll hear from the DA's office, Mr. Meyer.
Sorry about that. I knocked the iPad over. At this point, we're opposed to Mr. Anderson. He shot at a police officer, and I think that sends a very bad signal to the people in our society. I mean, we have a horrible crime problem, not only in New Orleans, but around the state and around the country. And I think we have to protect our police officers, and the people who try to shoot at police officers, who do shoot at police officers, need to serve the time he was sentenced to without parole was his sentence. I know he is parole eligible now under our statutes, but I still think he should remain incarcerated. When you look at his risk assessment, it's high for antisocial thinking. It's moderate for substance abuse, mental health, education, and total needs. His programming is pretty limited. In 2015, according to the list in his file, it shows he did 100 hours. 2016 and 17, he completed Living in Balance. And then 2022, after the last hearing, he completed Thinking for a Change. Most of the certificates that are in his file were not recent certificates. Those were all taken quite some time ago. I think additional programming would be beneficial for him. His disciplinary report is concerning. As you know, Mr. Henderson, I think had one write-up in the entire time that he was incarcerated. Mr. Anderson here is 2020, he had one for property destruction. That indicates he still has an anger problem. And he had one for contraband, as well as one other one in 2019. So 2019 and 2020, he's still getting disciplinary reports. That's very concerning to me. But for those reasons, we're opposed at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Mr. Anderson, does either one of your family members want to speak for you?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay, go ahead, sir, Mr. Clausen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Harlan Causey. I did 28 years with this man here. You know me, Ms. Renowski, from Angola. You paroled me in 2017. I've been out I've been doing good. I come to the 72. I've got a job. I got more jobs than I can handle right now. No problem. That is my brother-in-law. I married his sister since I've been home. And if I was that bad of a character, I don't think I could have gotten a family. He's got a hell of a support staff that's out there. We're gonna do everything in our power. The 72 has got things lined up for him. We got Norris on hold, Chico, Yancey. If I need any help from him, he's gonna have no problem getting himself acclimated back into society. You understand? For what this here about, you know, he's this, he's that. Everybody has their opinion. I know him for who he is. And I'm asking y'all to give him another opportunity because I'm like this here. I would bet my life that if he get out, he would die in the street. He ain't coming back. Because that's the same thing everybody thought was gonna happen to me, but I made him out of a lie. Life is too good in the free world. And I ain't got to wait to eat 3 meals. So I appreciate it if y'all would grant him parole. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm glad you're doing well, and thanks for being here today. I appreciate hearing from you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Anderson, is there anything you want to say to us before we vote?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to first and foremost extend a heartfelt apology to Officer Dickinson and his family. And I also would like to thank my family for all the love and support they showed me over the years. And I'd like to thank the first 72 for the opportunity they've given me. And I'd like to thank the board again for this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I think we are prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman.
Okay, I'll be like Mr. Rochelle on this one. I had a violent history. I already had a manslaughter conviction and shot at police. I do want to note that Trooper Dickerson had no position on this. He did not recommend that you stay in or you get out. So I just want to note that for the record. You know, you've done 26 years.
Yes, sir.
Long time. 26 years is a long time. And I want you to have supervision when you get out. If we leave you there till your full-term date, you're gonna get out and you're gonna be cold. I want you to have that probation officer watching you. And also, I want that probation there for you to turn to when you start having problems. And when you start having problems, you need to turn to him then. Don't wait till you get caught doing something wrong before you turn to him, because they there to try to keep you out, just like we here to make these decisions on whether we feel that you can stay out and be a productive member. So I can't believe it, but I'm going to take a chance on it. And I'm going to vote to grant with a curfew of 9 till 6 and 3 AA meetings a week. That's just one vote.
Thank you.
Mrs. Jackson.
All right, Mr. Anderson, the trooper takes no position on your release. He's leaving it up to the board. You've actually served most of your sentence. There are positive remarks from the warden. So my vote today would be to grant your early release to the first 72.
Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. Mr. Roche.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Anderson, this is the second time I've seen you. I saw you at your parole hearing on May 9th, 2022, and I voted for you. So I'm going to vote for you again. But Mr. Anderson, you got a golden ticket. You only get one of them. If you ever come back, you'll be in prison for a very, very long time.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Mr. Marabella.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Based upon the comments of my colleagues, my vote would be the same.
Mr. Anderson, I have a problem. I had a problem back in May last year, 22 rather. You know, this was not an aggravated flight. You shot at a state trooper. You meant to kill him. I take the position that, as the DA does, I can't vote for you today. You still have an opportunity to earn some good time. You do earn good time, but my vote today is to deny you parole. Because it requires a 5-member unanimous vote, you received 4 votes to grant, and that should be encouraging to you, but you got 1 vote to deny. Your parole's been denied today. Oh. Does that conclude our business? Warden, that concludes our business at your facility. We're going to sign off at 1:16. Thanks for accommodating us today.
Thank you.